in sources of generation. Thank you.
Let's see now the recent Draghi report, how aligns with the critical need for more market-driven approach in the EU's economy strategy, how innovation thrives when markets are allowed to operate with less central control. Mr. Fernández, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ralu, and thank you to the organizers for the invitation. I'll try to be relatively brief. And thank you everybody who stayed. I know it's very late. You know, you're all heroes on my book, so thank you very much. I'll try to, definitely, it's late. I'll try to do three things. Firstly, I want to talk a little bit about how I see the relationship between the European Union or Europe and economic growth and innovation. Secondly, I want to highlight some problematic data that we find and I think need to be addressed. And also, but I want to finish with a solution, and I think the solution comes from Greece, by the way. It's a very good example, so I'll see if I can do that in the next 3 minutes or so. Firstly, as Ralu very kindly introduced me, my name is Federico Fernández. I am the CEO of We Are Innovation. We Are Innovation is a network of currently 49 think tanks, NGOs, and foundations around the world. And as our name states, we want to defend innovation. We think innovation can do a lot to solve many of the problems that we have. And I want to remind you that innovation is not necessarily invention. We tend to equate those things, but it's not necessarily the same. Sometimes it's recombining things that already exist. And we like to focus on innovations that have a profound human impact. And I'll come back to that, with the Greek example in a few minutes. But very quickly, let me ask you something. It was mentioned in the panel before, DeepSeek, the ChatGPT from China. So why isn't it European? Have you thought about that? I mean, when DeepSeek appeared, the first thing that came to my mind was, why is this not a European innovation? And the second thing was, when ChatGPT appeared, it wanted to be banned in many countries around Europe. It was banned in Italy for a while. And I think that was highly symbolic. I still remember when that happened. Well, Claude, which is Anthropic's, let's say, own version of a similar version to ChatGPT, was delayed a lot in Europe, was not available, at least, let's say, legally. And that tells you that, the relationship between Europe and innovation is complicated. It's a little bit more like a situationship instead of a relationship. There's a lot of drama, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of mixed signals. And I think that there is a problem. Ralu was mentioning the Draghi report. It was discussed many times. And again, the Draghi report made me think of the Lisbon strategy of 2000, which it's a long time ago, but, tried to address many of the same illnesses, and it did it very well, also proposed solutions. The objective was to make Europe the most competitive, knowledge-based economy in the world. If the Draghi report is correct, that was not achieved. And again, I think both, and this is for discussion, but perhaps both reports are very good in detecting illnesses. Perhaps the suggestions that they offer are questionable. In any case, some numbers that should make us think a lot. Mississippi is the poorest state of the United States. Its GDP per capita is 1,000 euros less than Germany's GDP per capita. Arkansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and West Virginia, some of these I have no idea where they are states of the United States, are richer per capita than Spain, Italy, and France. A recent report published by Epicenter, a Brussels-based think tank on European competitiveness, highlights that Europe 20 years ago was approximately 26% of the global economy. Today is less than 18%. And on average, the income of a European is approximately 40,000 euros. Of a US citizen is 80,000. This is not gentle decline. This is a free fall in a way. This was not like this 20 years ago. So what is the solution? And Ralu, the solution, please. I mean, I wish I had solutions. What is a suggestion that we would like to make? In certain areas, the EU and the local governments need to do less. There's a huge need of light touch regulation. The command and control approach is usually very, very effective in the short term, but very negative in the long term. Mandates, subsidies, bans from the top down. I think they are showing that they are showing, let's say, an ugly face in today's Europe. So, am I saying hands-off government? Not at all. But intervention should be more chirurgical, more light touch, and market-driven. It should use price signals, it should use smart tax structures, and it should also use an empowered consumer, a consumer that has the right information in order, hopefully, to make the right choices. And trust me, even though I can laugh from time to time, and sometimes when I'm looking at my phone, I laugh when tech bros, or Silicon Valley bros are bullying the European Union on social media. I think this needs to stop. This is, in the end, is not funny, even though it can make us laugh from time to time. And the best way for this is not to get offended, not to get defensive, but to do better. And the EU would do great, and also the national governments would do great if they set free innovators from the current regulatory quicksand that they are in. And with this, I'll finish. Just one more minute, Ralu. Where is the Greek example that I want to bring you? As I said at the beginning, at We Are Innovation, we try to focus on innovations that are both innovative, obviously, but also have a deep human impact. There's a big problem with public health, which is the problem of smoking. We don't have a position that it's prohibitionist against cigarettes, but I'm not going to buy cigarettes for my children. Cigarettes are not good. And there is a way now, harnessing innovation, that you can allow current smokers to let's say, keep on consuming nicotine without burning tobacco. And Greece is known for many things. Great food, it's a beautiful country, it's the cradle of civilization, and it's the birthplace of philosophy. It was also, and still is to a certain extent, covered by a huge smoke cloud, coming from cigarettes. Greece still has a very high smoking rate. But what has been Greece applying that has had a lot of very good results in the last 3-4 years? In Greece, alternatives to smoking are, for instance, properly informed, so current smokers can know that an alternative nicotine product is safer than their cigarettes. So if they want to quit and they can't, at least they can go to a much safer alternative. The Czech Republic has been doing the same. In both cases, they also have been harnessing also the power of different taxes. Of course, the most harmful alternative is more tax than the least harmful. And both, for instance, Czechia and Greece are the countries that in the last 3 years, if I remember correctly, have the biggest decline in smoking. There are more examples that also come from Europe that point in this direction. So I think this is a small token of what allowing innovation to do their job can bring to societies. So in the end, this approach should be, let's say, escalated to other parts of the European economy. I think there's a lot of talent here. There are a lot of successful Europeans that are not, unfortunately, having success in Europe, or when they have success in Europe, they decide to leave. So the solution, in a way, is in front of our faces. And thank you very much for your attention.